If you've ever dealt with toxic, narcissistic, manipulative folks, then you may have heard of the term gray rocking. And today, I want to talk about gray rocking in a way that it aligns with your intuition, with your energy, and how to move forward through a little bit of chaos that we're in currently. Welcome to the podcast. And I know I said this and I thought, oh, they're going to think when I say the chaos that we're in, they're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about, Bo. And I'd be like, I know, everything's great. But I want to talk to you about it today. I want to talk about the energy that we're in currently. As of the time of the recording of this podcast episode, it is March 2025. It is also the stepping in phase of the age of Aquarius. We're going to get to that. And I also want to talk about how this is affecting us on all levels, not just one level, because right now a lot of people are looking at like a political level. I get that. That is going on. It's really happening. But the energy that's moving through right now is affecting us on all levels. And I want to introduce a concept of gray rocking some of this stuff to be able to get through it, because not all of the chaos is a requirement for you to experience. There's just not a requirement there. And we have to, I'm a realist. If you've gotten to know me at all, I'll be very direct about certain things. I'm not the person that says everything's perfect and it's all going to be great and you just have to, click your heels together 3 times. So that's not me. But I'm also not going to just take everything that comes my way. Right? So I like to move through life intuitively with a balance of self-care and adventure and experiences. And not all the experiences are good, and some of them we have to have. So today I want to talk about a little bit about the chaos, what's going on, what we can expect. I want to talk about how that's affecting us from the outside in. And I want to talk about how we can start gray rocking that which is not on our path, and creating it into a tool that we can consciously use, take a moment to take a breath and go, okay, I need to get back in alignment with this, right? How can we navigate to get through this bumpy portion of the age of Aquarius coming on in? All right, where do we start? Let's start with what's happening right now. We're stepping into the age of Aquarius. I'm so excited about this. I can't even tell you how excited I am about this. However, it's not exactly a smooth entry. It's a bit of chaos. And if you look back historically on the times when we as a collective stepped into the age of Aquarius, previous historical times, and you look at what was happening globally, you're going to see some similarities. In an odd way, I would hope that would also give you peace to see that each and every one of those, the outcome was a joyous period of time. We live on, 20-year cycles in general, right? And we're stepping into a cycle that is a joyous one. It's one of unity. It's one of heightened spiritual experiences, heightened vibrations, more connectedness, more compassion. And I say that out loud, March 2025, here we are, right? And it doesn't match what's going on right now. And there's a reason. I'm going to talk about this in terms of energetics, because every other way you could talk about it, there's 7 other million videos out there that we can watch around it. I'm going to focus on intuition, energetics, and connectedness. Now, stepping into this next age of Aquarius, there are things and systems that won't be able to hold on and won't be able to continue. The change is massive, and that which does not want to let go is going to cause chaos. This is probably a good point to interject that this is on many levels. This is on an internal level with habits, tendencies, traumas that you're just done with, your own, right? And you're like, No more. No, I'm not one more day am I going to do that. Mm-mm. This is also on a level of interpersonal relationships, romantic, not romantic, friendships, family, right? One on one. Chances are very good. If you're watching this, you're probably pretty awake, right? You're probably pretty aware. You're also probably pretty tired right now of a lot of the energies that are around you, which we're going to be gray rocking when the time's right. Stick with me, I'll explain it. But you're probably having moments where you're looking at a particular relationship in your life and everything in you is done. Everything in you is like, why am I doing this dance again? This has been on repeat. Nothing's changed. I have no pull to this anymore. And again, this could be family. This could be romantic. This could be professional. This could be a friendship. And you're just done. You're just done. That's okay. There's a reason for it. The energy between you and that other person is the energy that's actually supposed to die out, that can't move forward in this age of Aquarius. Now, if we take it to the next level, this could be your family as a whole, or this could be your office or your work environment or the people that you work with, right? Or it could be just simply not even the people. It could be your choice of job, where it takes everything in you to get up and go back into your job, go back to work every single day. And it is almost torture. This is because it doesn't align with where you're going. Where you're going, your job is going to bring you joy or fulfillment, or it's going to have a purpose behind it. Where you're going with relationships is that you're stepping more into relationships that see you, the authentic you, right? Now, this is all going to kind of come together when I talk about inside out, outside in. Same is true, however, with our towns, our cities, our provinces, our states, right? All of these things are in, not all of them, it was kind of dramatic. Many of them are in upheaval because the things that are being, upheaved, things that are getting thrown up in the air are the things that can no longer stay. Now, on all of these levels, right? Your physical body, if you're getting rid of a tendency or a habit, or you're letting go of old trauma, it's going to speak to you through that process. It might be a little uncomfortable, right? A relationship, if you're done with that and you're like, this just doesn't serve me anymore, and I see it so clearly now, and I don't know why I see it clearly now, but I do, they're going to probably try to hold on, right? Same is true in an office setting, work setting. They're not going to want you to change the job or change how you're doing it or leave altogether. Same is true on a global scale, statewide scale, countrywide scale. The things that we are leaving behind will not want to be left behind. Thus, they're going to cause their own little temper tantrums. I heard the best term, extinction burst. It's an extinction burst. I heard that term a long, long time ago, and it bubbled up again, and I was like, yep, that's it. That's it. It's a panic. It's an absolute panic. What do you mean I can't do what I want anymore? Because it doesn't align with me, right? All these levels are being affected, and it's just kind of like layers happening right now. We're moving through it. Here's where I want to talk about the inside out versus the outside in. For many, many, many years, most of our lives, right? But for the last couple of years, we've been working toward finding an inner balance, finding an inner peace, feeling that connectedness, opening up our intuition, being able to connect to spirit, all of that. That's inside, right? The noise that's going on around us is the outside. And for the majority of our lives, our happiness was dictated by the noise outside of us, by the people that told us what to do and to do this, how we're programmed, this is how you do this is your cultural norms. Like all of this noise has been coming at us the majority of our lives. And much of that time, we have only felt happiness if the outside was serving us happiness. So the last couple of years, Perhaps you've been working toward finding an internal happiness instead of an external happiness. Perhaps you've been working at reconnecting with your authentic self, connecting with spirit, connecting with source, getting, manifesting affirmations, all of that. Well, here we are. We're in the year where the scales tip from the outside to the in, and then we actually start to live more often from the inside out instead of the outside in. Now, the awkwardness that's going to come with this is that thing, and I'm laughing because I experience this a lot with a lot of different things in my life. It's that thing where you're so used to figuring out how to get somewhere that you don't know what to do when you get there. You're like, I've spent so long working to get here, and now I'm here. Now what do I do? Right? It's going to be that kind of a thing. We're practicing meditation. We're practicing being centered. We're practicing honing our intuition. We're practicing coming from the inside out, abundance, right? Self-care. And now this is the year that it says you can step into being this way instead of trying to be this way. So we have that happening. And then we have exterior chaos trying to keep us focused on the outside and not the in, right? Those two things in combination are going to cause feelings of depression, distress, exhaustion, fill in the blanks, etc., etc. We need to find a balance. I am not going to sit here and tell you need to go 100% from the inside out, ignore everything outside of you. That would be a joke. We are human, right? We are a spirit having a human experience, but we're still having a human experience. And checking out from that completely is not going to help you. It's not going to help you. So we need to find a balance, right? We need to stay informed. We need to listen to our body and say, okay, I can feel the trauma that I need to let go of. Now I'm going to relax in and be centered and let that work itself out instead of being in a fight mode with it, an internal fight. I need to relax and let that work itself out. In a relationship, you have to talk to people, right? I mean, you could ghost them, but that's just not cool. This is just not cool. So you have to talk to people. You got to work through it. And you work through it, you process, et cetera, et cetera. But the patterns need to be balanced, meaning the old pattern in that relationship was it was a constant and you reacted constantly. They reacted, you reacted. They came at you, you reacted. And it was a back and forth and it was a dance and it was a game that you did for a very long time. And you're tired of doing it because your energy is trying to step into the age of Aquarius. So you still have to interact. You still have to process and move through. But you need to give yourself the space and the time to come from the inside out instead of having everything in that relationship be about the outside, right? This is actually a really great place to interject the tool and start talking about it, because you can apply this to your job. You can apply this to, all of the levels. So this is a good place to say, hey, here's what the tool looks like. Gray rocking is a technique that a lot of people know about. If you don't know about it, it is a way to respond to toxic and manipulative behavior from others, meaning you kind of disconnect from the game, right? Someone who is manipulative or toxic or narcissistic is going to come at you and they want a reaction. They want a reaction. And we react a lot of times out of fight or flight, right? A lot of times out of programming or habit, we react. It's what we do. It's what we know. And gray rocking is not reacting, purposely giving yourself a moment to take a breath and to not get hooked in to the manipulative behavior. So if we take this concept of gray rocking and we apply it on a spiritual and energetic level, what we can do is we can turn on the news, we can get informed, but then we can shut it down. We can gray rock it. We can have a conversation with that relationship, make our statements, process through what we need to process through, but then shut it down, gray rock the situation. When we shut it down, gray rock the situation, a nicer way to say that is we give ourselves space to take a breath, to remember who we are authentically, like our spirit, our soul, right? We remind ourselves that we're a spirit having a human experience. So when chaos from the outside is drawing all of your attention and pulling all of your attention out, that is 100% human. That is, like I said, the programming, that's all human. What I'm asking you to do is balance, to stay informed, but spend more time in your spirit than in your human, meaning from the inside out. Gray rock the things that no longer serve you, the things that are draining you on a consistent basis, the things that are taking you away from moving forward into this age of Aquarius, the things that are causing you absolute distress, especially the things that are causing you to panic about what could be coming down the pike. That's a lot right now, because that's kind of the energy, right? When you have something, someone, or a tendency or something on all levels that doesn't want to let go, the biggest message it's going to give you is what if? And it's going to keep you in that state of panic. That's the outside determining your happiness. We want to go from the inside to determine our happiness, right? So, and the realist in me again is just saying, please stay informed. Please connect into your human life. Completely disconnecting from it is absolute toxic spirituality, and escaping, it's just not good. But what else is not good? Constantly 24/7 being pulled into the stress outside of you. So the key to moving through the bumpy part of the age of Aquarius coming in is to balance your time, consciously pay attention to how often am I letting the outside sources determine my happiness versus how often am I letting my internal, authentic self, spirit, soul, intuition determine my happiness. This is the tool. This is what I want you to do. If you haven't heard of GCP yet, I'm going to actually include it in this tool. GCP is hands down the number one thing you should do for the rest of your life. GCP it's an intent exercise, imagination, intent. So it's not even connected, right, to intuition. It's an intent exercise. And it's free. You don't need anything to use, right, other than your intent. And it takes like 30 seconds. You will be blown away when you start using this. So I'm going to include it in the tool today, right? But I want to do GCP and end it with the conscious decision to gray rock a situation. So what this is going to look like, GCP in that order, is ground, clear, protect. Again, intent exercise. I go a lot deeper into GCP in the top 5 intuitive tools course. It's a free course that I've been giving people for over 10 years or something like this. But so if you want to dive deep into why GCP works so well and what you can expect with it, find that course. That's a good course. But for right now, I'm going to give you a basic idea of how to use it. Ground, first step. If you don't have a grounding technique yet, energetically, you can simply just say to Mother Earth, hey, can you ground me? Can you anchor me into the earth, please? She will say yes. We move on to the second step, right? GCP, the second step is clear. I want you to picture your favorite element, whether it's water, wind, fire, earth, and I want you to imagine it moving all the way through you and clearing out that which no longer serves you. Get rid of it, right? The argument you had at the store, the to-do list, you think, like, just let it all go. The third step is called protect. It's not necessarily blocking. It's more of a filter, right? So I want you to do the protection. I want you to create a bubble around you. And that bubble's sole purpose is to allow in that which is for your highest good and block out what is not for your highest good. Keep that stuff out, right? So 3 steps so far. We only got 1 more left. The first one, ground, Mother Earth, thank you. Second one, clear, element, washes away everything that you don't need. The third one, protect. You create a bubble, only allows in your highest good. The fourth step is the step of intentional gray rocking, that which is outside of yourself that is pulling all of your attention. It's shifting your attention away from it, no longer feeding it, no longer participating in the game and the dance that is lowering your vibration and that you don't want to be a part of any longer. Now, the balance is stay informed, have the conversations, still do the human process of balancing your relationship, showing up when you need to show up, et cetera, et cetera. But if something is causing you to spiral, if something is causing you to feel disconnected from yourself, this practice is going to do a very magical thing in a very easy way. The easy way is you allowing yourself to have a moment to breathe, right? If you think about situations in your life, job, the news, relationships, and you take a step back and look at them from an observational perspective, you're going to see that you were probably in a pattern. You were probably in a reactive pattern that you just reacted. And that's what they wanted as well. But we're gray rocking that. Here's my end goal, right? Okay, I have two. The first one would be that you find more peace and more happiness and you get excited again about walking on your path because you're so focused internally that you're starting to move toward your joy and the things that make you happy again, and you're finding a great balance. But the second one would be, and this is the selfish one, as the teacher who teaches people how to hone their intuition, use it in their day-to-day life, my hope for you is by doing this process, when you find yourself in a reactionary state and feeding energy and attention to something that is causing you stress, and you do GCP and then you gray rock that and you're like, I'm not engaging anymore in this, I'm taking a step back, you're giving yourself a moment to breathe, you're getting back to center, and your intuition is going to open up big time. Big time. You are going to start to feel connected again. And you're going to start to feel all that good stuff that comes with your intuition. That's my selfish desire for you, because I'm allowed to have that. I'm allowed to have that. If everyone could tap into their intuition, we'd be in a much better place. So a lot of us have already woken up, and we've awakened to that unity energy, that consciousness energy, that compassionate energy. We see things on a connected level. And there's a lot more people right behind, like they're opening up as we speak. And we're stepping into this time where things are going to be different in a higher vibrational way. Higher vibrational way. Will they be perfect? No, they will never be perfect. They can't be, because then we don't have the reflection of what's actually good, right? If everything's perfect, then nothing is perfect because there's no comparison. So think of this age of Aquarius as tipping a scale from the old to the new, right? But the scales will always have two sides, always have two sides. Try the gray rocking process, try GCP, and then just stop giving your attention to the things that are causing distress and causing your vibration to lower. Just that conscious act. Give it a shot. I'm excited for you. Okay, I'll see you next time.